Hello, I'm Joe Kort. I'm a gay man. I'm 47 years old, and I'm doing this video in response to Dan Savage's It Gets Better. And I'm doing it for all kinds of reasons, but most importantly is exactly as this title says, to help you see that it gets better. I'm one of those guys who was bullied, humiliated, really tortured psychologically, physically, and in so many ways that I would like to describe in this video, and I've talked about it over and over again in my other things that I've done in terms of my psychotherapy that I do with my clients, in my books, and in my own personal therapy, which I have been in and out of my entire life because of the bullying. Actually, thanks to them, the bullies that did this to me, I became a psychotherapist because I went to one, and he saved my life. I always say that psychotherapy saved my life because what was happening to me as a kid was that kids, especially the boys and many girls, discovered that I was gay before I even knew what the word meant or what it was. And they teased me and made fun of me and made repetitive, negative, sarcastic humor toward me. And I used to have my grandmother wait for me after school. She had a babysitting job, but she would come out to my school and wait for me so that I could get out of school because I had been threatened all day to be beaten up and that the bullies would be waiting for me. And sometimes I could see them and sometimes they wouldn't. It would just be threats. But I would just be grateful that my grandmother was there. But it was also humiliating that my grandmother was there, that I had to have her wait for me so that I could feel safe. Probably the worst thing that ever happened to me was a gym teacher in 6th grade. I had a best friend, and I was probably in love with him. Didn't know what that meant. I just knew I really wanted to be around him and like his friendship. And we would do everything together, and we were late coming to gym. And so we got dressed in the locker room, and we came upstairs to the gym class. When we got there, the entire class started laughing. And so later, we didn't know why they were laughing. And some were hysterically laughing, clapping. And this was in the 70s. So before something like this could have really had something to be done, I would hope that today there are places that you could do something negative to the teacher as a result of this. But I found out later, and during the class and later after the class, that the teacher himself, the gym teacher, had said, watch, those guys are going to come up together, Joe and his friend. They're probably getting dressed together. They're two fags. They're probably in love with each other. I've never forgotten that. I never forgot that. But let me tell you how it gets better. Now I'm a 47-year-old published author. I've been on TV. I'm successful in my practice. I have an 18-year relationship. I have a lot of very positive regard and status. And I wrote a letter to that teacher several years ago. And it was not easy because when I wrote it, I felt like I was still that teenager who he humiliated. I was in 6th grade, so I'm 12 years old. And I wrote to him and said that was a very terrible thing, that I'd hoped he'd changed. I wasn't mean. I said that I'd hoped that if he still felt that way, that he no longer was a teacher, and found his name and address on the internet, and I mailed it to him. And I never heard from him again. In my area, we have gatherings for everybody that went to that particular high school, and I see him there every year. And he never approaches me. This year I might approach him because of what's happening with these suicides. You don't have to kill yourself. There is hope. It does get better. While the other thing to say that I want to let everyone know is it does get better. And then, so years and years later, several years ago, I find Facebook and I start seeing some of the people that tortured me and bullied me. And you know what? To them, it was nothing. They don't remember it. It was just another day for them. Some do remember it and said they were sorry. But, you know, their lives went on. And the ones that don't remember, I still feel shocked. Like, really? You don't remember that you punched me in the hall and told me you'd get me after class? You don't remember spitting on me? I do. I never forgot it. But I can guarantee you this. It didn't change my life so that it would go down the tubes. It didn't cause me to kill myself. It caused me to think about it. But thank God I was in therapy. Thank God I got help. And you need to get help too. And you need to know that once you're out of high school and once you're into college and past college, none of that matters anymore. You make your own way. I made my own way, and you can too.